Okay, so it's day 94, just logging another day in, and so what was it? I wanted to make a quick response video. I think it was three rhinos again. He asked about edging, surfing, let's say YouTube, non, uh, let's just say non-explicit content. In the sense that it crosses the line over into that which we are trying to not just not just avoid, but remove entirely from our lives, if we're on Nofap. And sort of my opinion on that, and maybe perhaps advice on how to avoid it or how to stop doing that. Having been guilty of, not on this stretch of time, but in the past, other times, having been guilty of, looking stuff like that up, not necessarily visually, but also audio material. I'll say point blank, it's not a matter of judging someone for doing that, but I think you're setting yourself up for failure. And pretty much every time I've gone down that path, or gone that direction, so to speak, and started, doing that, it's inevitably led me to relapsing. And maybe in the future, assuming I get into actually studying academia, neuroanatomy, neuroscience, that sort of deal. Maybe I'll be able to really truly back this up with scientific knowledge. But as far as my understanding is concerned, you're still firing up those neural pathways that are associated with PMO, and as such, you're doing what you'd be doing if you were PMOing, maybe to a lesser extent. It's I guess the difference for an alcoholic or someone who's trying to just plain simply abstain from consuming alcohol. Difference between them, I guess, consuming an entire bottle of, let's say, brandy or some other hard liquor versus having a sip or two. You're still engaging the behavior. You're just sort of telling yourself that you're not, because it's a slightly lesser form. And I suppose this kind of gets into the difference between the I guess you could say, quote unquote, the letter of the law versus the spirit of the law. And not saying that there's some law in Nofap, but just a sort of idea of folks going, well, it's not literally, that kind of content, but it's sort of it's on the edge. That's what they call it, edging, or P subs. You're skirting the edge, and you're engaging in sort of the behavior, but telling yourself that you're not. It's almost like trying to have your cake and eat it too. Either you go completely without it, or I don't want to tell anybody who's, edging, watching that stuff or listening to it, and, engaging in the physical act while consuming that content, that, oh, you might as well just, relapse. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is get away from that. Obviously, folks can do what they want to do, but if they're asking me, I'd be I think you should stop if you are doing, edging, because like I said, it's just a lesser form of PMOing, and you're in danger of relapse. And if you really want to stop, I say you have to sort of, a lot of this stuff is just okay, reflection on it, why is Nofap a big deal to you? Why are you doing Nofap? Why are you on this this path or in this sort of process, because obviously you wouldn't be trying to qualify yourself as being on Nofap if Nofap wasn't something to you. And in truth, I don't see the point. You know, unless like, I mean, when I've been in those states or I've, engaged in that kind of behavior, it's been more like in truth, I wanted to go back to PMO. And the reasons I wanted to go back will probably have to do with like, I mean, there were, there's effects like the flat line or just being bored, but a lot of it was like, okay, um, maybe something had happened in my life. Maybe I was dealing with some negative thought loops, and I wasn't like cultivating the kind of itinerary, the kind of habits that would, uh, make it, make those things go away. Make the negative thought loops disappear. Make it or that kind of state of being like dissipate. And I didn't necessarily realize at the time, but that's sort of the deal with like cultivating a new way of being, like cultivating a different mindset, cultivating different habits, and different life routine, itinerary, that sort of deal. Um, like for instance, I made a video a while, well, not really that while back. I think it was actually just earlier this week. Um, it was actually a couple days ago, but I was talking about like sort of a response or a continuation of like my early morning video, and talking about how I ended up in this negative thought loop, and it led to some bad dreams. Um, if I hadn't done that, if I hadn't made it a point to make that video, I might have, slipped into some edging material just to, oh, I need to get rid of the pain or whatever. But it's sort of like developing that sort of awareness and maintaining it, not just, because I have to maintain it still. It's not something that, flip a switch and you're in that state of awareness all the time. Like, you have to develop that and understand why you're considering edging, understand why you're engaging in it or in danger of that or in danger of relapse. Like, do sort of your root cause analysis and trace yourself back to that point where you started down that direction. And really ask yourself like why you're doing Nofap, why it is such a problem. Times for me it's been really obvious. Other times it hasn't been as obvious. But anyways, that would be like my response to that, and my sort of opinion, and any advice that I might give. On how to deal with that or how to stop. So, short answer, you just stop, but, like I said, longer answer is ask yourself why. Why you're engaging in that behavior, why it's, got that hold over you, and why you're doing Nofap. So, anyways, just past 8 minutes, and I think I'm going to head in, because I think it's like 6:53, 6:54 at this point, so gonna be in there for a few minutes early. So anyways, again, that's my response video, and I'll see you folks around. Thanks for the likes, the comments, the subscriptions, and hope this video helps someone out there. Again, I'll see you folks around, and bye bye.